Hey, 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 y'all. It's Carmolaye. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Thanks for tuning in. This vlog talk session today is going to be a vent session. It's going to be a lot of venting on this one. There's just too much shit that's been going on, man, and I'm seeing it too much, and it's been too much abuse of power, you know? It's just too much now. It's like overboard to the max, you know? It's too many people, too many good people out there that get caught up in stupid situations because of people lying and hell, I've been lied on plenty of times when I didn't even know I was being lied on when I was around certain people of my past and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I thank God every day that I've been protected all this time, you know? Because I don't stand for fuck shit. I don't stand for SA and all that stupid shit. Like I don't stand for that. This shit is wrong. And PDO type of people, pedo type of people, I mentioned this when I'm about to say on my podcast. I believe I did this year. I said it on there. On the podcast I did this year, and all links to my podcasts are in the description box below for whoever's interested. But on the podcast I did this year, I said this specific spiritual download I received, and I received spiritual confirmation about it. And pedophilia is the biggest issue on this planet. The biggest problem. PDO type of problem, like the PDO issue is the biggest issue on this planet. Do you hear me? You know what I'm saying? And when minors have toxic fucking guardians or parents that groom them to be a certain way or groom them to lie a certain way or whatever, that shit backfires in the end. Karma bites that ass in the end. It's all fun and games for people to lie on people that don't deserve it and don't know what's going on and shit. But from what I've learned, man, if it weren't for God, I'd be in a world of trouble right about now. Shit, I know I am a target individual. I do get gang stalked, you know what I'm saying? And I've only been knowing about gang stalking and the target individual topic for 5 years now. I never learned about what this was before the year 2018 when I learned about it in California, where I was living in Bakersfield, California, But I hate when I don't want to say that, but it really irritates me to the core of my soul when I hear some people say, well, they think it's because the person that's speaking out or being a whistleblower, it's their fault that they're being gang stalked, or they're trying to insinuate, some people insinuate that it's the target individual's fault for speaking out. And that's the reason why the gang stalking is so, so much, But no, for my case, I've been gang stalked my whole fucking life. And it took for me to learn about what the fuck gang stalking was, to reflect on my life and to come to the realization that I have been a target individual my whole fucking life because of the dark occult members, of my bloodline. I'm estranged from my whole family, you know what I'm saying? Like, but shit, I've been put on the chopping block, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? Like, I looked at this documentary thing yesterday. It was a channel on here on YouTube. I actually wrote it down because I wanted to reference this and actually speak about it, and make a few points on it. But I'm trying to find it in my notes. Hold on, y'all. What is that called? Okay, the YouTube channel is called Unfiltered Stories. That's the name of the YouTube channel. And there's a specific video that I looked at, but there's a lot of stories like this or similar to this on that channel. But this particular video I'm talking about was posted on January 28th of this year, 2023. And on this particular video on the Unfiltered Stories YouTube channel, there's this video that I seen, and it's called "I Was Sold into an Elite PDO Network." Y'all know my code word for that, right? But they have the word pedophile, but they have the E, with the star, like, you know what I'm saying? So don't spell out the whole word pedophile, you know what I'm saying? But the title of that is "I Was Sold into an Elite, PDO, PHILE network." Okay, that's in the title. Okay, but the E has a star in the place of it. Okay, on the title of that, as that word is on the title of that video. I mean, and in some of the description box below under that video, some of that reads, "Welcome back." Excuse me. It reads, "Welcome back to Unfiltered Stories. Today's guest is Annika Lucas." And I believe I may be saying her first name wrong, but I think I'm saying it right. Annika Lucas. Yeah. ANNEKE. That's her first name, Annika. I think she said on the video. That's how she pronounced it, I believe. And then Lucas is her last name. And she's a survivor of sex trafficking. Annika was just 6 years old when her mother sold her to an elite PDO network that abused and killed children. Listen to her story of how she rose from slave to victorious lady. That's in some of that description box of that video. And the word killed is in the it's all spelled out in there. But this has been going on too long. I believe this woman said she was from Belgium or something in her childhood and stuff like that. So she was outside of the US and she was speaking about her story. And there's also another YouTube channel that speaks about her story and stuff like that too. It's a YouTube channel called Real Women, Real Stories. That's a YouTube channel as well. And with this same lady I just spoke about, Annika Lewis, there's a particular marathon of the most viewed moments of Annika Lewis interviews with real women, real stories. But yeah, on that Real Women, Real Stories YouTube channel, there's a video entitled Annika Lucas. I'm sorry. Why do I keep saying Lewis? Man, sorry. The lady is Annika Lucas. Is ANNEKE, and then Lucas LUCAS. If you want to look up her story yourself, you can. But there's a video on that Real Women, Real Stories YouTube channel called Annika Lucas, Former Sex Abuse Reveals Horrors of Abuse. Most viewed moments. And that video was posted on June 24th, 2022. Man. And then I seen some of a documentary yesterday on the NBC7 San Diego YouTube news channel. And on there's a video entitled Stolen, a year-long investigation into child sex trafficking and exploitation / NBC7 San Diego. And that video was posted on October 4th, 2023, this year. And it was talking about, I didn't see all of that, but what I did see, it was talking about how how this man was locked up and he was in jail, and there were phone conversations that they were talking about on that video, but it ended up being like a minor that grown man was talking to when he was locked up, and he was grooming her and coaching her over the phone of how to get in touch with some CEO person. And he was an older man that this man was coaching this minor to get in contact with on Facebook, to have sex with him for money and or things like that, pictures and things like that. But I think on the video it said just the pictures, but obviously some sex was probably going on. But from the parts that I've seen on that documentary on there on the NBC7 San Diego YouTube channel, I gotta be in the mood to watch that type of shit, man. I gotta be in the mood for documentaries and shit. Like, that shit just kept making me mad, And in some of that video, it was the woman after years later after that took place or whatever. And she was speaking about how she was 16 or something, 15 or something. She was a minor, and she was talking about past experiences with being groomed to, as a minor, she was groomed to do certain things, sexual based, like, pictures and stuff and things like that, and exploitation, things like that, right? And I started thinking about that other documentary, little story I seen about Miss Annika Lucas on the Unfiltered Stories YouTube channel. And I was like, man, she actually remembers her experiences with that. And all I could think about was the shit that I found out through spiritual downloads regarding what I went through as a young child and stuff. And a lot of the stuff I do not remember in my 3D physical memory, but I've received spiritual confirmation a lot of times since last year that confirms that what I know is true. And I have been a product of sex trafficking myself when I didn't know it. There's a person that's highly respected in my family, and she has, certain agency connections and stuff, CIA and stuff. And if I wasn't on my spiritual journey, I wouldn't have received none of those spiritual downloads and spiritual confirmations regarding my situation, And so I can relate to that story about being exploited and all this and all that type of stuff. I've been on dark web for many years. Like, I've been exploited my whole life when I didn't know it, And it's not even really about me being seen naked, but it's about how it was fucking done, Like, I almost did webcamming before in California. Like, I was almost going to do the damn shit myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I ended up, it was during a time in 2017 when I was job searching, and I was like, man, maybe I'll try some webcamming, show my new body and shit for a little change until I find me a real job. But I ended up getting a job and I didn't do it. But I almost considered doing webcamming. I did it for a little short time, but I didn't really earn no money from it or nothing. So I did not do it long enough. But so with me, it's about how the shit was done with me, Like, there's things that I know that I've been through as a kid that I have no 3D physical memory of, but I know that I've been the laughing stock of my family. I've been the laughing stock of secret societies. I've been the laughing stock of people affiliated in the same secret society as a specific bloodline member of mine that put me on the chopping block to be offed for their gain and all that fuck shit. You know, like if I wasn't on my spiritual journey, I wouldn't have found none of this shit out. No one physically told me none of this shit, you know. But there's been times that I've been lied on, and I wasn't even told to my face these allegations, but I received spiritual downloads regarding me being lied on by certain people in my past, trying to say that I'm a PDO type of person when I'm not. But I was never fucking approached by any law official about it. But I later found out years later through spiritual downloads that I've been around agents. Like there's been agents, a couple agents that's like been around me and I didn't know it. You know, there's been times that I've lived with certain people in my past and was friends with or thought I was friends with, whatever, but they had so much shit going on behind the scenes I had no fucking clue about, you know. Like shit crazy. Just to try to make me look like I'm with the fuck shit, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that get caught up in fucked up ass situations, man, just from lies. You know what I'm saying? And grooming, you know, that shit's real. Like, I know that if motherfuckers groom minors to gang stalk people, then I know goddamn well that there's been a lot of grooming going on with narcissism, you know, backgrounds and shit, like with situations like that. I know damn well that there's situations when minors are being groomed to lie to people too, to get them caught up in situations they don't know they're about to be in. Like it's too much. Like it's too commonly just in the energy. It's just like it's been the thing to do, to lie on people, to set people up, to, you know. And it's not because I spoke out about my story. That's not why I've been gang stalked my whole fucking life. That's not why ops have been sent to me my whole fucking life. You know, gang stalkers have been sent to me my whole fucking life. Before I had social media in 2010. I didn't get a first Facebook page until 2010. There was a lot of shit orchestrated in my life way before that year. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't nobody walk up to me and tell me in my face that I did this to myself with being gang stalked because I'm speaking out. No. My life has been opt the fuck out before I spoke out or before I learned any fucking thing about gang stalking or, you know, me realizing I'm a target individual. And I've been that my whole life. I've only been knowing about this for 5 years. You know what I mean? But it's going too far now. People are going too fucking far. And all it's gonna take is just karma to come down and wake some of these malicious motherfuckers up. They've been getting favored too fucking long. So caught up in denial because of the favor they've been getting, you know. I respect secret societies, I respect the occult and things like that, but what I do not respect is when people abuse their fucking authority because they're in that. Like putting people in fraudulent marriages and shit. I'm in 2 fucking fraudulent marriages that I had to only find out in a spiritual way that I'm in them. I wasn't told none of this shit physically by a person. You know, It should not be that way. And I know I'm not the only fucking one, and I'm not just, I know I am a woman, but I know men, they get in fucked up situations too that can be targeted as well, but I'm just speaking from my point of view. I just happen to be a female, but it's too fucking far now, you know. Like last year in 2022, that's when I first received a spiritual download regarding me being in a fraudulent marriage with someone that I used to be married to in real life, but got a divorce from October 2008 in Tyler, Texas. But he took it upon himself because of his Masonic connections. He took it upon himself to marry me, put me in his paperwork with his businesses and shit. Whatever the fuck little stupid shit he got going with little whatever shit, corruption shit he got going. Got my name in the shit. Like I've been in the shit when I have not been. Like the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And then this year to find out that someone else married me without my consent. Just to stay in the fucking country and shit. You know. Shit's crazy. See, when I did my very first YouTube channel, Carmolaye, when I first started that channel, it wasn't even for me to even just talk about gang stalking and all that. That's how I eventually used that channel for. But really, when I first made that channel, Carmolaye, that I lost access to back in 2020, I was doing that to be creative and funny and make up little amateur songs and be funny and shit, just to be creative, But then I ended up finding out and learning about the gang stalking and individual and targeted individual topics. And I started, vlogging about that because I started noticing little shit around me in Bakersfield, California, where I was living at that time. And I started venting about that, because I just seen too much shit with gang stalking activity, And then I just would talk about that and vent about that and stuff. And, then I used that platform to, not only vent about that, but to, spread awareness about it as well and to spread encouragement to other targeted individuals like myself to, shit, because that's how I learned about it. Shit, from other targeted individuals' channels. That's how I fucking learned about it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So I just, was drawn to talk about my experiences back then and things like that, I'm not able to post on that YouTube channel, but Carmolaye, it could still be looked up, my old content, stuff like that, whatever, and I used to show my face, go live, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Just like when I first began this channel, Carmolaye continued. Shit, I was showing my face and stuff, blogging, but I really wasn't catching gang stalking activity in the act, like I was in California when I used to live there. But when I first started this channel back in the summer 2020, I was just, just speaking my thoughts about certain things, and then I started talking about more spiritual stuff. Eventually, I just was like sick of showing myself. I was just sick of being on camera. I was just sick of, showing myself. I just lost that desire to even just do that, and I just wanted to be heard, like now, but Carmolaye, I thought of that little online persona or screen name because back in California some years ago, I used to be friends with this guy, and he would call me Carmo all the time. And I'm like, what the fuck you call me that for? before I, stopped being his friend. I was like, what do you call me Carmo for? And he was talking about because of my caramel complexion. So that Carmo name kind of stuck to me. So I ended up coming up with the name Carmolaye, as a screen name or whatever. Then I started using it on my Facebook and all that too, and Instagram, little screen names and shit, But so that's where that name Carmolaye came from. But the A in Carmolaye, it stands for my first real name, April. April, like the month. Yeah. So that's what the A stands for in Carmolaye, you know. But so I just was in vent mode a little bit, but it's just getting too much now. There's too many people lying. There's too many people lying on people, spread rumors about people, um, and it's just getting too fucking far now. You know, there's got to be some balance restored some fucking how. You know, but that's not my job. That's God's job. You know, that's the universe's job. It's not my job. But I'm just sitting back, you know, doing what I need to do, but or doing what I can do. You know. Another thing I want to vent about is work mobbing. To people who know what that is, if you don't know what that is, you know, work mobbing is basically a tactic for gang stalking a targeted individual, and it's little stuff that can happen at job, little situations and scenarios that could be orchestrated at different work spaces, and sometimes it could be from getting lied on about a task you didn't do and you did it, or lied on in another way, or just some type of orchestrated ass situations that can be fucked up, you know, in so many ways. So work mobbing is like tactics to basically fuck with a target individual at their workplace, you know, the bullying type of shit, or nitpicking, you know, like for example, I love to give examples because, you know, that's the best way I can express what I mean, because I've been through it, you know what I mean? But like for example, like when was this? I'm trying to think of an old a time. It was that 3 years ago? I'm trying to remember. I think it was 3 years ago. Yeah, like 3 years ago. Um, I worked at this Family Dollar store, right? And the the general manager, or the lady who hired me was cool, you know, nice to me and shit, you know. She didn't seem like she was a gang stalker or nothing, but you know, whatever. She kept it cordial business and all that, right? When I got hired, things was cool for a couple days, few days, and then I started working evening shift, you know, somewhere. I mean, in that Family Dollar store in the area, and actually, it was in Bossier City, Louisiana. It was a Family Dollar there I worked at. It was in I think it was like February of 2020 when I worked there, and I remember there was this assistant manager lady, the one that did not hire me, you know, but she still had authority and stuff. And I remember she orchestrated this fucking scenario of me getting in trouble with money, or trying to get me in trouble about some money, you know, because this is what she would do. The work mobbing that would go on when I worked there, right? Back then, right? It would only be one line open in the Family Dollar store. To anyone who's been at Family Dollar, when there's only one register open, that's how I was done every time I worked there. When I was working the evening shift to closing, and that was purposely done. And sometimes the assistant manager lady would take so long when I needed money or change or something, you know, like when I had a certain bills that I needed to get put in my register so I can get people change and stuff, you know, she would take longer to give me my change, or some paper money I needed to get, you know, people their change and stuff. Like one time it was a stack of $5 bills, and it was placed under my register, but I didn't know it. And when it was time to close one night, and we're about to close and count the register down and stuff. Or she was gonna count the register, and then I would count it behind her or something like that, whatever. But the assistant manager lady, was doing something at the register or whatever, open it or something or whatever to count it or whatever, I think. And it was like $90 worth of $5 bills stacked, like under my register, like I was trying to steal it or something, but I wasn't. Either I didn't know it was there, or because I don't remember, because when I would ask for change and stuff, I would have to wait a long amount of time, and she would make sure to be inconvenient like that. That's the type of work mobbing I dealt with at that job, you know. And but when she tried to say that I purposely, the assistant manager lady there tried to insinuate that I purposely put those $5 bills under my register to be shady or something, when I wasn't. And I already knew what that gang stalking tactic was. So I ended up just quitting and not going back. And I remember the general manager lady that hired me, she had my personal number at the time, my cell phone at the time when I did have a phone. I don't have a phone now. I really don't have a use for it. Fuck it, you know. But I just use my computer. But yeah. Okay. Yep. Let me see. Sorry, I had to do something. I had to do something on the screen. I'm sorry. It was a stupid comment I got on the chat, so I had to get that shit off there, whatever. But anyway, to make a long story short, I ended up not even telling the general manager about why I really quit, because I knew that the assistant manager lady and her really got along from what I've seen. So if I would have told the truth and said, hey, she was trying to set me up about some money shit and this and that, the lady wasn't going to believe me, because I was a new person that just got hired, and that other person worked there a long time or whatever. So, you know, it was what it was with that, you know. And then later on that year in 2020, I worked for this, I went on Craigslist, and I found this job position to clean, right? And like janitor, custodian type of work, right? And I would clean these banks, the buildings, right, at night, six evenings a week, 6 days a week, or whatever. In the evening time, though, I would do it at night. And I remember it was so much shit orchestrated with that, even though I was the only one cleaning, and I was the only one in the building and stuff. It eventually got to the point where it would be more mess to clean, more than usual, you know, that type of stuff. So that wasn't too bad, you know. And then I would hear noises from the back of the building, on one of the buildings that I was cleaning, like someone was going to come from the back door and try to, you know, come in there when I'm cleaning and shit, whatever. Try to get fear out of me. That shit didn't work, you know. And then every job, I always dealt with work mobbing before I even knew what that was. I would be in these situations at jobs where I would be lied on for shit, or, you know, like one time I worked at a Jason's Deli here in Shreveport, Louisiana, where I am, right? Because I live here in Shreveport, Louisiana. That's where I live. My last job I had, it was at a Jason's Deli. And there was this assistant manager lady that would always give me crap, would always fucking like complain, because I would fill the salad bar, right? This was my job position back in like November, December 2021, somewhere around there. And she would always be an asshole to me. Like, I mean, she was like cordial, respectful a little bit, but she was just like a nitpicker at me. Like that's how she was work mobbing towards me. And like